Hi everybody, welcome to another video on the channel. In today's video, I'm going to demonstrate a coaching technique that I use to try to get the athlete to connect the fact that at the beginning of the drive or the catch, as we start that drive, really the hip and the handle should be connected, right? So, you know, if you can imagine to understand this principle, if you can imagine, you know, here I am at the catch position and there's a certain distance between the handle and the seat or my hip. While I start to initialize that drive, at least for the first half of the drive, the seat's gonna move back, but the handle should move with it, right? So what we're looking for is the handle and the seat to really be moving together initially. So we have to be engaged in the core, and we have to be able to make sure that that hip, it's really the hip driving the handle, the back of the seat driving the handle. So if we were to draw a straight line between the handle and the hip, and that was a certain length, to begin with, that length should stay the same, at least for the beginning of that drive, so that we're not opening our body up too early. One of the common things that I see in people is that they want to start the drive by opening up too early and really working the handle without really getting their weight, you know, on the handle and a little bit off the seat as we start to drive, right? So one of the things that I teach when I'm teaching somebody to row and feel that connection is the fact that what we're doing here is, if you get the athlete, it's going to sound a bit weird, but if you get the athlete to hold the handle right here and, you know, tell them to sit upright and hold the handle right here and just tell them to move back and forward on that slide, you know, like say, you know, 10 or 20 centimeters forward and 10, 20 centimeters back, and then get them to associate that as the seat moves, the handle moves with it, right? So you're just kind of cradling this handle. So if I move forward, the handle moves with the seat. If I move back, the handle moves with the seat, to get them to associate that initially as we start to drive. Those two things, where the handle is and where the seat is, are relative to each other. It's just, it seems a bit funny to sort of cradle the handle, but it helps me get that athlete to kind of connect the dots a little bit. So how does this apply? When you've done that, you know, for a minute or so, then get them in the catch position, or yourself in the catch position, and just kind of practice that, you know, emphasize that idea of that first half of the leg drive, the handle is connected to the hip, right? You're not seeing a change in displacement between the handle and the seat. And that little trick, all right, at least for the first half of the drive, and then, you know, once we hit here, we want to be starting to work the body into it naturally. And you might delay that a little bit more if you want to, like some coaches coach 3/4 of the leg drive and then open the back. But I think we want to be teaching athletes to at least initialize that drive by pushing the machine away. The drive starts low, right? It starts through here. I think some people think the drive starts up here and the center of gravity is too high. The drive really starts low as you start to suspend your weight. So this drill of, you know, it's getting the athlete kind of sitting on that seat and moving the handle with the seat, associates the seat with the handle, so that when you get to, you know, teaching the initializing that drive, then you've got this idea that, yeah, so the handle moves with the hip and there's no disconnection right there. So the handle acceleration should match the seat acceleration to begin with, and that just teaches some good fundamentals at the front end as you're picking up the catch. One bonus that I would add here is I see a lot of athletes not having their hands at the height of work when they change direction of the catch. So what it looks like here is the handle comes forward, and then the handle's down low so that the drive starts to happen. And for the first few inches of the drive, what we've got here is the hand's not really in the height of work. It makes sense that we apply force in a horizontal direction, right? So if I've got the chain in a horizontal position, here, this plane is the height of work. But if your hands are down too low, then you're gonna spend a few parts of your drive, however long, just starting to start your drive and letting your hands come up into the height of work, and then you might connect halfway through the drive, right? So we're looking to connect at the front of the drive. So what I call this when I coach an athlete is, you know, you want to minimize X, right? And X is the distance between when you start the drive and when you really connect. And so, you know, X might be larger if the hands are too low and now we're starting to drive and now the hands are in a height of work, X might be 20 centimeters, for example, right? But if you're setting your body, right, and as you finish that stroke, you're focusing on letting that arms flow away and the body set, that gets you in the good position, because really the problem starts right here, and then the hands are going to rise, and so that when you change direction, the hands are in the height of work, so that as soon as you start that work with the seat and the handle, you're connected on that front end, and you're going to see the force curve kind of pick up nice and quickly and not have a delay on it, and it sort of flattens out. You're going to get a nice good pickup on it. So that's kind of one of the things that I do when I'm teaching the catch and getting the athlete to associate that the handle's got to be locked in with the hip. They need to be lockstep. They need to be moving together initially if you are really well connected. What can happen though if the handle isn't connected with the hip, you can shoot your slide here. Notice that the seat is moving, the displacement of X in the seat is moving, but the handle hasn't gone anywhere. So we want to avoid that part. And then we also want to avoid, you know, starting to drive the back open. And as you can see, the handle's now starting to outpace the seat. We want those two pieces to connect together, and that way, you know, we're moving the wheel or we're moving the boat. So it's a good drill to kind of teach that. So thank you for watching. Appreciate everybody tuning into the channel. If you get something out of the video, please like the video, share it with others, subscribe to the channel, and I'll just try and keep the content coming as I think of it. If there's something you want to see on the channel that I'm not covering, please do, but I'm going to try and cover as much of the stroke mechanics as possible and just kind of lay out the way that I coach something when I'm trying to teach a novice or even an experienced rower how to improve and go faster. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.